Angela Harper felt the world glow around her as she stepped onto the velvet aisle of the Grand Lagoon Hotel. Cameras drifted on drones, streaming every second of the wedding of the year. Roses poured like a waterfall behind the altar, Afrobeats mixed with violins, and a hashtag Forever Bennett's blaze on giant screens. Beside her, Charles Bennett, tall, smooth-skinned, his smile polished like marble, lifted her hand. "Angela," he whispered from microphones, "I choose you forever." Angela laughed softly. "And I choose you, Charles." The crowd cheered. Online viewers filled the chat with heart emojis and fire gifs. Even Angela's best friend, Faith Collins, pretended to dab a joyful tear. 3 months later, the same rooftop where they had cut their cake now hosted Charles's after-work cocktail party. City lights winked below. Influencers posed beside the infinity pool. Angela, wearing a gold sequin dress that hugged her curves, carried a tray of her famous mini meat pies. Charles sipped champagne with 2 fashion bloggers. "Your husband is gorgeous," one said. Charles grinned. "I try," he joked, then eyed Angela's waist. "But carrying this one around is a workout. She's my great big elephant." The women froze. Nervous laughter escaped. Smartphone lenses rose at once. Angela set down the tray, her cheeks burning. "Charles, did you really just call me that?" He waved a dismissive hand. "Relax, Angie. It's only banter." Faith appeared, wrapping an arm around Angela. "Ignore him," she cooed, though a secret smile flickered behind her lashes. "You know how men joke." "A joke shouldn't break my heart," Angela whispered. Faith guided her to a corner. "Sweetie, maybe he's embarrassed. People talk about your size. If you slim down a bit, he'll treat you better." "That shouldn't matter," Angela muttered, but doubt gnawed at her. Across the roof, Leo, Angela's cousin, recorded a vlog. He zoomed in on his cousin's hurt face. "Hey fam, look how my sister's being treated. Not cool." He uploaded the clip, captioning it #RespectAngela. The post exploded overnight. Back home, Angela confronted Charles in their marble kitchen. "Why did you shame me like that?" Charles scrolled through angry comments. "People are too sensitive. My brand is about perfection, Angie. You don't fit the aesthetic I'm pitching to clients." Tears welled in Angela's eyes. "I'm your wife, not a billboard." Faith's text pinged Charles's screen. "I can help fix your image. Call me." Angela saw the sender's name and frowned, but Charles turned away. Late that night, Angela sat on the balcony, hugging a pillow. Waves from the distant lagoon whispered comfort. She murmured, "I am more than what he calls me." Inside, Charles rehearsed apology posts, weighing likes against love. Faith drafted a crueler plan. 2 screens glowed in the dark, one searching for validation, the other for vengeance, while Angela's silent strength began to stir. Far below, street vendors lit their charcoal fires, unaware that the flames mirror a new fire rising inside Angela. 2 months passed after the rooftop insult, yet Charles never truly apologized. Instead, he poured himself into glossy client pitches and gym selfies. Meanwhile, Angela mixed new recipes, hoping homemade love would heal them. Inside Faith Collins' neon-lit salon, blow dryers roared like restless bees. Faith watched Angela's wedding highlights loop on a wall screen. Angela laughing, Angela loved, each frame feeding a quiet fire. A slim woman stepped in, clutching a worn audition folder. Faith's eyes gleamed. "You're Jasmine Reed, right? The actress who can cry on cue." Jasmine sighed. "Work is slow." Faith lowered her voice. "I'll pay you double your last gig to play one role, the pregnant girlfriend of Charles Bennett." Jasmine blinked. "He's married." "Not happily." Faith purred. "All you need is confidence and this." She slid over a doctored sonogram marked 12 weeks. "I have a friend at the print shop." 3 days later, Charles reviewed building plans when Jasmine burst into his office, eyes watery. "Charles, I tried to keep the secret, but..." She placed a fake scan on his desk. "It's ours." Charles's pulse hammered. "A child could ruin my image, or make me look fertile and irresistible," he reasoned. Simultaneously terrified and flattered, he asked, What do you need? A safe place, Jasmine whispered. Paparazzi will tear me apart. An hour later, he texted Angela, taking responsibility. Please prepare guest room. Angela read it twice, confused. When the apartment door opened, Charles guided Jasmine inside. Angela, this is Jasmine. She's pregnant. With my... Angela staggered back. Your child? When? How? It was before we married. Charles lied, voice thin. The timeline is complicated. Jasmine touched her flat belly and forced a weak smile. Angela's world tilted. That night, Faith accidentally sent a sonogram to Gossip Blog City Buzz. Within hours, hashtags multiplied. Hashtag Charles Baby Drama and hashtag Poor Angela. Memes of a golden architect and two women flooded timelines. News anchors debated plus-size wives and cheating men. Leo burst into Angela's kitchen, phone shaking in his hand. Sis, the internet is destroying you, and Charles isn't saying a word. He set up his ring light and recorded. Family isn't a billboard. My cousin Angela is kind, loyal, and deserves respect. Stop shaming her. Leo's tear-streaked video hit 1 million views by dawn. Hashtag Justice for Angela began trending above the president's speech. Morning sun spilled across marble counters as Angela, eyes puffy from crying, stirred oatmeal. Charles walked in with Jasmine, who wrinkled her nose. Baby, the smell makes me sick. Could Angela cook ginger soup instead? Angela gripped her spoon to steady shaking hands. Of course, she whispered, voice cracking. Charles glanced at his buzzing phone, messages from sponsors demanding answers. He muttered, I have meetings, and fled, leaving the two women alone. Jasmine lounged on the couch, scrolling through articles that hailed her as Charles's brave mistress. Faith replied to each post with subtle praise for Jasmine's strength. In the silence that followed, Angela's heart pounded like a gem drum. Humiliation pressed on her chest, yet a faint ember of resolve glowed beneath the ashes. She whispered to herself, I will not break. I will not vanish. Outside, traffic horns and distant church bells mixed with a relentless ping of notifications, each one a reminder that the whole world was watching her fall. Angela woke before dawn, eyes swollen from another night of tears. Without waking Charles or Jasmine, she packed a single suitcase. On the dining table, she left a note. I'm going to find my peace. Don't call. A taxi carried her south, away from blaring billboards and gossip bloggers, to Riverbend Village where Aunt Miriam lived. The air smelled of wet earth and hibiscus. Chickens scattered as Angela stepped from the car. Aunt Miriam, tall and silver-haired, wrapped her niece in a firm hug. Child, your face tells a heavy story. My heart is heavier, Angela whispered. Then we will lighten it, step by step. A new routine. The next morning, Aunt Miriam shook a cowbell beside Angela's bed. Up, the sun is a healer. Angela groaned, but followed her aunt to the dusty road along the river. They jogged past fishermen casting nets. Children waved and shouted, Big Sister Angela, run faster. Their laughter turned Angela's shame into playful fuel. Back home, Aunt Miriam served boiled plantain and pepper stew instead of Angela's usual pastries. Food is medicine, she said. At noon, Angela joined village women, pounding yam in giant mortars. Muscles burned, sweat soaked her t-shirt, yet each thud of the pestle felt like she was striking self-doubt itself. That night they sat around a small fire. Sparks twirled into a navy sky. Aunt Miriam began an old tale. Long ago, a wounded lioness hid in tall grass. Sure she would die. But each sunrise she licked her wounds, stretched her limbs, and hunted again. In time, the forest called her queen mother. Remember Angela. Scars can become crowns. Angela listened until eyelids drooped. She slept in a bamboo hut and dreamed she was that lioness, golden eyes blazing. A voice, hers yet greater, said, Your roar is waiting. She awoke with a gasp, heart drumming with purpose. Weeks turned into months. Angela's legs grew strong. Her laugh returned. She posted a single selfie, sweaty, smiling, holding a bowl of fresh okra soup. Caption, Healing tastes like home. Leo shared it, cheering, Look at my cousin glowing. The post hit 500,000 likes. Strangers wrote, you inspire me to love my body too. Aunt Miriam nodded at the comments. Your pain is feeding hope. That is sacred work. Angela began teaching village girls simple recipes and self-esteem chants. Say it with me. I am not an object. I am a story. Their voices echoed across cassava fields. 6 months later, Angela boarded a coast bus back to the city, Ankara jumpsuit hugging her now-toned frame. At Golden Bay Cafe, she ordered tea. Conversations hushed. Phones lifted. A barista gasped. Are you? Mrs. Bennett. Angela smiled calmly. Just Angela. Within minutes, her photo, confident stance, radiant skin, lion pattern earrings, spread across social feeds under hashtag Angela Returns. Influencers hailed the hottest glow-up of the year. Across town, Faye stared at the trending tag, jaw tight. Jasmine flicked through comments, unease swirling. Charles, alone in his office, felt something crack inside as he whispered. She found her roar. Angela stepped onto the sidewalk, sunlight crowning her like gold. She inhaled, exhaled, and walked forward, ready for the roar to be heard. The Crystal Grove Hotel glittered under thousands of fairy lights. Tonight's charity gala, Architect for Tomorrow, was Charles's chance to save his sinking reputation. A jazz band played. Photographers flashed. Charles adjusted his cufflinks, nerves jangling. Jasmine, in a tight emerald gown, clung to his arm and whispered, Smile, handsome. Cameras love confidence. Across the foyer, murmurs rose. Angela stepped off the elevator in a wine-red silk dress, lion ear studs catching the chandelier glow. She walked with the calm of a sunrise. Leo filmed for his vlog, whispering, Sis ready? Angela nodded. Time to tell the truth. On stage, the host announced, Please welcome celebrated architect Charles Bennett and philanthropist wife Angela Harper Bennett. Gasps rippled. No one expected Angela. Charles's smile froze. Angela took the second microphone. Good evening, she began, voice steady. Tonight's theme is building honest futures. Let's start by being honest. Phone screens lifted. Live streams went live. Jasmine's hand trembled on her champagne. Faith, near the bar, stiffened. Angela faced Charles. 6 months ago, you brought another woman into our home, claiming she carried your child. She turned to the audience. Would you like to meet the baby now? Jasmine stepped forward, rubbing her belly theatrically. He's kicking, she said weakly. Angela raised a small remote. A giant screen behind them lit up with 2 documents. DNA test, 0% paternity and blood test, negative for pregnancy hormone. Gasp became a roar. Charles blinked. What is this? Proof, Angela answered. From 2 accredited clinics. Jasmine's face drained of color. In a desperate act, she clutched her midsection and staggered. My water. She splashed a hidden pouch of tinted water onto the floor. The liquid pooled, odd and greenish. Murmurs turned to laughter. A medic knelt, felt her stomach, and shook his head. There's no baby, he said into the microphone. Faith tried to slip away, but Leo blocked her path, streaming everything. Leaving so soon, best friend? He asked. Angela's voice carried. Faith Collins, you printed fake sonograms and fed blogs lies. She tapped again. Screen showed chat logs. Faith, make Charles look like a hero. Angela will crumble. Faith stammered. She needed tough love. The crowd booed. Sponsors whispered. A journalist shouted, Miss Collins, any comment on defamation? Faith fled, cameras chasing. Charles's eyes brimmed. Angela, I was foolish. I believed the lies because I worship my image. He sank to his knees before her. I've lost clients, respect. Please, don't let me lose you. Angela did not cry. Love without respect is a cage. She lifted him gently. If you want redemption, prove it by lifting others, not yourself. She announced into the mic. I challenge Charles Bennett and every partner here to fund Angela Holmes. Safe housing for single mothers. Match my own first donation. The screen flashed her pledge. 50 million Nigerian nairas. Sponsors, smelling good PR, raised hands to match. Charles whispered, I'll double yours. Security escorted Jasmine out. Reporters swarmed. But Angela walked to the exit, Leo beside her. You burned the lies to the ground, he said. Angela exhaled. Now the real building begins. Behind them, Charles faced the press, repeating, I will build those homes. Hold me accountable. Bright camera lights seared his tear-stained face. Illumination, not applause. Outside, a cool night wind lifted Angela's curls. The city buzzed with headlines, but she simply closed her eyes, thanking the lioness spirit for lending her a roar when she needed it most. 1 year later, morning sun cast gold over a block of freshly painted townhouses on a lagoon's edge. A banner read, Angela Homes, Shelter, Dignity, Hope. Reporters, donors, and tenants gathered behind a bright ribbon. On a small stage, Angela, now visibly pregnant, adjusted a sunflower-print maternity dress. Beside her stood Charles in rolled-up sleeves, plastered dust still on his collar. Angela tapped the microphone. When my life felt broken, she began, I thought my story was ending. Instead, it opened doors to these women and their children. She gestured to a row of single mothers holding toddlers. Today we cut a ribbon on healing, brick by brick. Applause rolled like distant thunder. Leo live-streamed, grinning. Aunt Miriam watched in the front row, eyes bright with pride. Charles stepped forward. I was once a man who cared more about perfection than people. My wife challenged me to change, and these homes are only the start. He turned to Angela, lowering his voice. Thank you for not giving up on what I could become. Angela met his gaze. Thank you for proving you meant it. They raised giant scissors together. Snip! The crowd erupted. Children ran through wide doorways painted sky blue. One little boy tugged Charles's pant leg. Sir, is this really my room? Charles knelt, voice thick. It's yours, champ. Welcome home. Cameras captured the moment. No one doubted his sincerity. That evening, Angela and Charles drove down the coast road in a pickup filled with potted palm shoots. They turned into a sandy lane where a brand new eco-house glowed under solar lanterns. Wide verandas, breezy corridors, and murals of lionesses adorned the clay walls. Charles parked, heartbeat thudding. A gift, he said, handing her a hand-drawn blueprint. Angela's haven, designed for sunshine and second chances. Angela walked room to room. Extra-wide doorways, a mother and baby reading nook, a kitchen flooded with afternoon light. You remembered everything I love. She paused at a wall etched with a regal lioness crowned by scars. Tears shimmered. And everything that hurt. Charles took her hand. Pain made us, but it won't cage us. Later, they sat on the back porch listening to wave crash. Aunt Miriam had left a clay pot of herbal tea and a note. Let the ocean finish what the village began. Angela rested a palm on her belly. He kicks whenever the wind changes, she laughed. Charles smiled. Think he'll be a builder? Maybe a storyteller, she mused. Our son will hear about mistakes turned into monuments. A hush settled. Stars blinked alive. Charles cleared his throat. Angela, I know forgiveness isn't a switch you flip. I'll spend every sunrise earning it. You already started, she said, nodding toward the distant glow of Angela Homes. Angela rose, offering her hand. Together, they planted the first palm shoot at their doorway. As they patted soil, she whispered, New roots. He echoed, New growth. They stepped through the open double doors, her laughter meeting his quiet vow. Ready to build a future founded not on shame, but on the steady rhythm of redemption.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of my content.